Coming up on this special edition of the 4 Morning News, Brisbane back in lockdown, a 3-day lockdown after the UK strain was detected in Queensland.
No new cases reported in Queensland today.
But once again, that 0 new cases overnight is welcome news.
Victoria has declared Greater Brisbane area as a red zone. You now need a permit to enter the state.
A person came from Melbourne into Queensland with the UK strain today.
All coming up on this special edition of 4's Morning News.
This is 4 News with Austin Pollock, and joining us virtually, Pauline Pollock.
Hello and welcome to 4's special edition of the Morning News. I'm Austin Pollock and I'm also joined by Mrs. Pauline Pollock. This is a special coronavirus edition. We will be crossing live to the Queensland Premier very shortly. This is what she had to say in her press conference just a few moments ago.
We've had 0 new cases, so congratulations everyone, but of course we're monitoring this situation very closely over the next 2 days, especially as the Greater Brisbane region is now in this lockdown. So we have 21 active cases, and can I thank Queenslanders who've come out in droves to be tested. We have had over 14,784 tests in the past 24 hours. Can I just remind everyone that in that Greater Brisbane area, we have 178 clinics that are currently open. So if you have any symptoms whatsoever, please go and get tested. Now, of course, we are doing this because of the highly infectious UK strain. Can I thank everyone who has been wearing a mask? On my way in here this morning, I passed several people who were walking their dogs or cycling, and they all had their masks on. So thank you very much, everyone, for doing the right thing. We've got to keep it up for the next couple of days.
That press conference was just a few moments ago, but firstly to our breaking news, Mrs. Pauline Pollock, you have that story?
It's a person travelling from the UK into Melbourne and quarantined for a fortnight and then proceeded to go to Queensland. And the virus was detected in them when they arrived in Queensland. So a fortnight is really not long enough for quarantine for that particular strain.
We are going to go to our Queensland Premier, Anastasia Palaszczuk. Good morning, Premier. Will Greater Brisbane be declared a hotspot to the state's counterparts, to your counterparts?
I've just advised all of my colleagues that we are declaring that Greater Brisbane area a hotspot, and I'm also asking my colleagues from other jurisdictions to also declare Greater Brisbane a hotspot until we get through this together.
And what would happen if we didn't go into lockdown?
If we do not do this now, it could end up being a 30-day lockdown. So we will do a very strong 3-day lockdown in those areas.
And Premier, what are the requirements for people wearing masks? Is it everyone or only a select few?
Once again, I'm taking the strong recommendations of Dr. Young, and we will be mandating masks in those areas if you are leaving home. So if you are leaving home, you are leaving your place of residence from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Monday, and you are living in those council areas again, let me say them again, Brisbane, Logan, Ipswich, Moreton and Redlands, you must wear a mask. There are plenty of masks out there. If you are a child, under 12, you do not have to wear a mask.
Premier, thank you for your time. We're going to take a short break here on 4 afternoon news. On this special edition of 4's rolling coverage of the COVID-19 situation in Queensland. We'll be back. Welcome back to 4's rolling coverage, morning news with our rolling coverage of the situation in Queensland with the coronavirus outbreak there. Panic buying has also returned in Queensland. This comes just a few moments after the Premier went on national TV to announce the 3-day restrictions. Here are some photos from there yesterday. This is at Woolworths in Camp Hill. Lines stretched back for metres right into the car park as well. Footage from other areas you can see there now also. And the 4 News crew went there today. This is some footage in the toilet paper aisle. That is one of the things that lots of people are definitely wanting. Now, Mrs. Pauline Pollock, do you think that the situation that you had in Victoria, it may turn into something similar in Queensland?
I'm sincerely hoping not, because we did have a very severe lockdown in Melbourne, which went for quite a long period. But I do hope Brisbane doesn't reach that state.
Okay, we have a team of reporters standing by. Firstly to Kevin, who is live on Cavendish Road near Cooperoo Square, downtown Brisbane. Kevin, that road I know is usually busy with people. What can you tell us?
Yes, it is, Austin. I am here on Cavendish Road, and we have been walking past today. There is heaps of roads with no one on them, and usually you can see that there's heaps of cars everywhere. Unlike today, though, we have seen Cooperoo Square, Caltex, and places like that, all very, very empty. Anyway, Austin, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Now to our reporter, John, who is live for us outside Woolworths. John, what's the situation like there? Has it calmed down since yesterday?
Thank you, Austin and Pauline. I am here at a Woolworths in Brisbane. Yesterday we saw lots of panic buying. Here are some pictures of that. And when we went to Woolworths today, there is also a limit on toilet paper and things like that. There's the Premier is warning that, saying that there's no need to panic buy, as there is plenty of stock around. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. The panic buying that everyone is saying, it must stop. Alrighty, and I know, Austin and Pauline, that there have been no new cases today, but people are warning not to become complacent. Also, at Woolworths, they are giving out masks and persons counting as you come in, so good to see that happening.
Now to Barry, who is live in Melbourne Airport at Tullamarine. Barry, what can you tell us about the new red zones?
Yes, thank you, Austin. I am currently here at Melbourne Airport, Tullamarine. As you can see, Melbourne is now declaring Greater Brisbane a red zone. This is because of the United Kingdom strain has been detected as community transmission there. Now, if you're going to New South Wales from Greater Brisbane, you must or also isolate until 6 p.m. Monday, following the same rules and regulations as Queensland. Now, for most of different areas around, you must need a permit to come into Melbourne as well if you're coming from Queensland. Otherwise, you have to do 14 quarantine. Okay, but in the rest of country, everywhere is basically, apart from New South Wales, is basically 14-day quarantine for Brisbane. Okay. So we'll keep you updated with that. Back to you, Austin, now.
All right, thank you, Barry, and thank you to our reporters out on the field for us as this situation unfolds live across Australia at the moment for the unfolding situation for coronavirus here on the morning news. We're now going to go to our national meteorologist, Bob, who was live in Brisbane. Bob, it's quite a cloudy day there, just kind of suits the sad feeling that is around the COVID-19 situation.
Oh yes, thank you, Austin. As you can see, I have my favourite claw on, okay? Favorite clothes on, okay? So, as you can see, the last night there was a lot of storms coming through, and it's been quite a cloudy day today. Let's take a look at the weather cam. As you can see, just outside there, around there somewhere, you can see that it's still cloudy with a little bit of showers around. Now today is meant to be just showers to the top of 28, okay? 28 is today. Okay, now tomorrow, 26 degrees, okay? 26, then get down to 21. Okay, so Saturday we're gonna have some possible shower with 27 and get down to 20 degree, okay? 20 degree at night. And then Sunday 28, okay? And get down to 20. Now you can see the rest of them on your screen at the moment. Oh, my device just went flat. But as you can see on the rain radar, there is a little bit of rain around, but around Brisbane at the moment it's not too bad, but definitely to watch out. So just some showers around at the moment. Anyways, back to you, Austin and Pauline. It's good to see 4 News back, and I now work for 4 News. I'm just following Austin, you know. He very good at the news. But anyways, back to you now, because I went from, back to what I was saying. I went from 10 People News to Fox People News, I think, yes. And then to the 4 News, okay? So I get a pay rise as well here, so very good. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Now, Mrs. Pauline Pollock, do you think that Sydney will be able to lift the rest of their restrictions now that they have somewhat come on top of this virus?
Look, I really believe they could ease them a little, but they do need to be very cautious.
Okay, and the National Cabinet met yesterday. Here is some of what ScoMo announced.
In extenuating circumstances, and this could include for seasonal workers from amber risk countries where there is limited access to testing, with mitigation of testing on arrival in Australia. Individuals, including travellers and staff, must undertake measures for infection prevention and control for international travel. That includes passengers to wear masks throughout international flights, crew to wear masks and other personal protective equipment where appropriate, airlines to have appropriate infection prevention and control measures on board aircraft, all individuals within Australian international airport environments to wear a mask. Passengers should wear masks while in international airports.
And what we saw was also that you must return a negative COVID test before you can enter Australia. Mrs. Pauline Pollock, what's your take on this? Do you think that this is a good decision made by the National Cabinet, or...?
I feel it is a very good decision made by the Cabinet. I think it's a decision that perhaps should have been made a lot earlier.
This also comes just after the first case of community transmission of the United Kingdom strain was detected in Australia. That is why Queensland is currently in Greater Brisbane, is currently in lockdown. Now we also we now know that the person who came on that Jetstar flight to Queensland from Victoria and from the UK also went up to Mullaney and to visit their parents. They've also stayed with them there, but it is expected that their community transmission should have, they were on the end of community transmission, so some good news there, and also no new COVID-19 cases detected in Queensland. We'll be back after this. This program brought to you by Pollock Hotel, Life of Luxury. Welcome back to 4's continuing coverage of the COVID-19 situation in Queensland. Now we're going to go to Mrs. Pauline Pollock, who is still with us. What was the situation like in Victoria when that lockdown occurred? And do you think that this may happen in Queensland? And if so, what can Queenslanders expect?
Well, I certainly hope this type of quarantine doesn't develop in Brisbane. But what the Melburnians went through in that time, there was masks to be worn everywhere, even in cars. And if you were a passenger in the car and didn't come from the same home, you were required to sit in the back seat. People in hospital allowed no visitors, and this included people in ICU, which was extremely sad in a lot of cases. No visitors to the home, except for care purpose reasons. Could only travel 5 kilometres from your home. Only allowed to leave your residence for essential reasons. being shopping, medical, caregiving. Can't bring to mind the fourth one at this stage. There was no outside entertainment, of course, which included restaurants, movies, races, and so forth. We were extremely happy and pleased when restrictions were lifted. And at the moment, we do have to wear masks outside. We have to wear them everywhere apart from within the home, but we can accept that as long as we don't go into another stage 4 lockdown.
That's basically what's happening here in Queensland at the moment. And you were in hospital not for COVID-19 at the time when the second wave was happening in Victoria. What was it like in the ICU area?
Well, I was isolated from any cases that may have been with the virus. And to be perfectly honest, being in ICU, I'm not really totally aware of what the situation was. It wasn't until I was taken into a room, and then all the staff, they were gowned, fully gowned, masks, shields. The patients fortunately didn't need to wear masks in the hospital, but all the staff needed to.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us here on the 4 Networks coverage of the COVID-19 situation right across Australia. That's it from the team here. Thank you. And thank you to Mrs. Pauline Pollock for coming on the show. Anything else you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, that pretty much wraps up our coverage, and stay safe and well, and we'll see you next time.